expectations do you have for the team this year after a busy offseason?
High. I think we're going to talk about that when we get back, I'm sure. We want to raise our expectations. I think we've had excuses in the past. A lot of new coaches over the last few years, but we know our coaching staff style now. We established our identity last year, and we want to keep building on it.
What clicked in the second half for you guys, where maybe it wasn't working in the first part of the season?
Everything just came together. Just putting it all together, putting the process together, our identity, figuring out that we actually got to defend probably harder than we have to think about scoring goals. I think we went in last year thinking we wanted to score more than we did, and we figured out that we had great goaltenders, a defensive core that could get the job done, and forwards that would help out, and that's why we had success down the stretch.
How well do you know Perry and Pavelski, and what do they bring to you guys?
Not too well. I golfed with Pavelski in a golf tournament a couple months ago, and talked to Perry over text. I think they're going to be great for our locker room. I think Perry's going to come in with a chip on his shoulder, just from talking to him. I know he wants to win again, and he's going to bring a lot. And obviously Pavs, I think the biggest thing with him was San Jose when he got hurt, seeing how that team gathered around him and went to work. I think he's something special in the locker room, and I can't wait to see it.
What does it say about the veterans in this league? It seems sometimes we maybe overlook their kind of role, like guys like Perry, Pavelski. I'll talk about all the young kids, but how important is it to have those kind of guys in the room and still contributing?
Yeah, I don't know if the media overlooks them. I think there's just so much excitement of the new players and the kids in the league that you stop talking about the guys in their mid to upper 30s, but those guys are what kind of gels the team together. You need those guys in your team, and I'm happy we got some great players.
Speaking about the younger guys, are we just scratching the surface with Miro Heiskanen?
Yes.
Could you expand on what kind of player he is and what kind of player he can be?
It's tricky because last year I kept saying a couple of guys I wanted to hide him for a little bit, but he broke out so early, and his ceiling is who knows. I can't wait to see him after another summer of full training and becoming a man. He's going to be a heck of a player.
What are your thoughts on Scotty Upshaw and his chances of winning a spot?
I know he's had a tough road, and he's worked extremely hard. If you follow him on Instagram, you see his workout posts every day. He's working hard in the gym, and I know him off the ice. He's a great person, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do at camp.
How do you guys lose Jason Spezza to Toronto? What are the Leafs going to be getting in him, you think?
Character, leadership, a hockey nerd, if you want to call it. He's great in the locker room. I'm going to miss him. He's the first guy I'd text or call when it comes to hockey, and he's going to do a great job with all the young players in Toronto.
Do you understand that, like him going to Toronto for literally the league minimum, just to kind of maybe realize boyhood dream and also, I guess, go for one last shot?
I don't think he needs any more money. I think he's made enough. No, but he's a guy of, like I said, character, leadership, a guy that just loves the game, loves making players better, loves figuring out what his role is on a team and trying to do that to the best of his ability, and he's going to be great for the Leafs.
What makes him a hockey nerd?
Knowledge, how much he studies the game, he knows history. It's just a figure of speech. I don't think he's an actual nerd. It depends if he's wearing his glasses that day or not, no offense, but he's a heck of a player and an even better person and great family, and he's going to do a great job in the Leafs.
Years ago, guys would avoid Toronto, Montreal like the plague just because of all the attention, all the, I guess, negative attention.
No, it's just you guys.
It's starting to turn now. Like John Tavares goes to Toronto last year.
Yeah.
Obviously, Spezza coming to Toronto this year. Are you kind of sensing it even, or guys are sensing it around the league that Toronto's not that big, scary place anymore?
I'm pretty busy with Dallas to really think about it much, but it's a good nation here of Leafs fans. I grew up a Leafs fan, and I wish them all the best, just not too well.
Would you see yourself doing that one day?
I see myself as a Dallas Star for my whole life, and hopefully that all works out.
Tom Wilson was.
How important is it to you to get some international competition into the next CBA? There's talk of maybe another World Cup or the Olympic participation. You've kind of missed out on something.
Yeah, I mean, it's hopeful. Especially a couple of years ago, I thought I was kind of in that age group, and there's possibly a chance of making that team, maybe the next one. So you obviously want to be a part of that, and I think growing up as a kid, you dream of making the NHL and winning a Stanley Cup, but you also dream about representing your country, so hopefully we can figure something out.
What do you make of all
the idea of a World Cup in the middle of the season, and have you given any thought to what would be a cool format?
I haven't given enough thought to comment.
What do you make of the RFA class? There's so many guys that are unsigned still. Is this just the new reality of guys getting paid younger?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see one guy, hit something and it's all going to fall. It's going to be a domino effect. Just waiting for the first guy to make a move.
What has Jim Montgomery meant to this Dallas club behind the bench?
I mean, he's been great for his first year. Dealing with adversity, the stretch of an NHL season. I know he's been a player, but the things he changed and adjusted to, he was great for us, and he's only going to get better.
We were talking to Jason Spezza during the season about how you guys would play well, and Jim would not maybe be happy with the game, and you'd lose, and he'd be happy. He was more about the process. Is that what really stands out about him?
Well, yeah. I mean, his big thing is his process, and I don't want to get into too much details on that. But there's things we want to hit every game, and sometimes you're going to win games by not doing it, getting lucky, and some games you're going to lose doing it the proper way. But when we're consistent with the process, we knew good things were going to happen, and that's where you saw us starting to come together and really believing in it and trusting it. And no excuses this year. We know what to expect, and let's raise our expectations and go to work in a couple weeks.
What's the next step for you? What do you expect from yourself moving forward, coming off a really solid season?
Just keep going, keep growing as a player, as a person, keep getting better, and keep trying to help my team go deep in the playoffs.
Jordan Binnington have a bit of a chip on his shoulder this time at this camp this year? Yeah.
No, I mean
he
doesn't get nervous, or he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder. I mean he's always had that swag, no matter what. But he's a guy that comes in, he works hard every day, and that's why he's successful.
How proud are you of seeing what he did last season?
Proud to a certain extent. Proud. But we're both competitive guys, so still we're in practice all summer here. We're still going hard. I'm trying to score. He's trying to stop everything. But, anytime you see a guy, we kind of have our own team here in the summer. So when someone wins, you're happy for them. You want to support them. I went to Dalzell's Cup party, even though they beat us. But you want to win yourself.
Did Binnington have to see that he had that in him, like that level?
If you look at our last 3 Battlestar camps, I've drafted him first overall in the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So you guys can put it together.
You're not joking? That's true.
No, I'm sure. Yeah, it's true. This year I didn't get to pick, so I didn't get him.
Did you feel comfortable touching the cup at the party?
I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it.
How old were you when you first started training sort of year-round, being on the ice year-round, sort of giving up other sports in the summer to do this sort of stuff?
Probably my OHL draft year. I always played lacrosse growing up my whole life, and then when I think I was 15, maybe turning 16, it was just hockey.
You ever think back or get envious of guys a couple of generations before you, or when, getting in shape for training camp and then cutting down from 2 packs of smokes to 1 pack of smokes?
No, not envious. I mean, I like the generation I'm in, and I think it's cool seeing how young kids are now, looking at eating properly, looking at training properly, and it's because of social media. So it's one positive point that came out of it.
Tom also was just saying he considers you kind of underrated, but he also doesn't think you mind flying under the radar sometimes.
Me?
Yeah, you. What's your comfort level with Dallas and kind of that market?
It's great. It'll surprise anyone that goes down there and spends time there. We're not a traditional hockey market, but we're a sports nation. When we're playing, we have the best support. We were in our playoffs last year. Every one of my buddies that came down said it was incredible, and I love playing there.
Getting the personality out in the league more. Do you like where things are going with the younger guys, kind of stepping up and showing more personality? We saw the storm surge in Carolina last year. Do you see that coming out more?
Yeah, I don't know if that specific thing was kind of what I meant about it. I think it's more about, it's things like the local guy here, Austin Matthews, getting into fashion. It's about, Marner's spotlight on all that stuff. It's things like that show your personality, even what PK does. I mean, I enjoy what PK does. It's just about getting our personalities out more, and I support that all the way.